If you got a problem, don't care what it is. You need a hand, I'm not gonna show you. All right, it's Friday. Yes, Friday, Friday, Friday. Let's get this started. Hi, my name is Carl Trent, and today we're going to talk about Walt Disney World. Oh, I love Walt Disney World. Welcome to Lunch with Dad. It's just the best time of the week, right? Friday lunchtime. Here we go. Lunch with Dad. Well, let's get started. This week, we've got something really big for you. We have a prize this week. Another giveaway. We've only done this like a couple weeks in a row. Oh, why am I not being able to do that? Oh, here we go. We got a prize. We got a giveaway. Destinations to Travel. Our friends at Destinations to Travel are giving away a big package of lithographs. They're 3 lithographs. They're 16 by 20. They're really cool. And you can get them just by liking, commenting, or sharing Lunch with Dad. It's that simple. If you like, hit the like button, hit the comment button, hit the, or put a comment down in the bottom, hit the comment button. Boy, I got to start thinking. Hit the comment button or just hit the share button, and you'll be entered. And at the end of the call today, at the end of our time, we'll pick a winner. And that will be fun. Shannon, our partners over at Destinations to Travel, will send them out to you, and everything will be cool. Also, forgot to mention, thank you to our sponsors, Celebration Shirts. We got a little surprise for you coming up. Josh just sent me a message right before we started. Haven't even had a chance to look at it. We're going to have a little t-shirt shop here in a couple of weeks. But celebrationshirts.com, we're going to have our own t-shirt shop in celebrationshirts.com. That's going to be really cool. So that's coming down the road in a couple of weeks. We'll roll that out in a couple of weeks. All right, so here we go. Lunch with Dad. What are we going to do today? I like talking about the plan. So the plan for today, I've got a little rant that I'm going to start off with. By the way, if you hear some rattling in the background, we've been having earthquakes in Oklahoma. Earthquakes. And we had a pretty big one yesterday. So if things rattle a little bit, it's just an earthquake. It's okay. So I'm going to have a little rant, but I'm not going to rant about earthquakes. Then we'll do the news, and I'll run the tip of the week. It's already been recorded. It's ready to go. We'll do some Ask Dad questions. I got 8, I think, this week. And then, by the way, I'll answer your questions too. If you have any questions you want to ask me about Walt Disney World, just stick them down in the comments, which will help you enter for our giveaway. Stick them down in the comments, and I'll answer them here in about 25 minutes or so. Love answering your questions. So any question you have about Walt Disney World or Disney stuff, I don't know much about other Disney stuff, but I've got helpers that can probably help us. So if you've got any questions, stick them down in the comments, and we'll answer them live and in color. Well, kind of beige and bland today, but live and in color. All right, and then I'll have some final thoughts. We'll pick a winner, and we'll close it out. All right, so here we go. Page 1. Throw it away. All right, the rant this week. Let me play a little music here.
Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day.
Yeah, that's an old song. Tells you how old his dad is. I kind of grew up with some of that kind of music, but that's one of the old songs I grew up with. Those were the days, my friend. And I've been hearing a lot of that about Walt Disney World lately. Somebody sent me a note and said, boy, I wish things could go back to the way they were. And then I saw a comment same day, just like 5 minutes later, in a Disney group that I follow that was really, really lamenting the fact that Disney is changing, and that things aren't staying the same. And it just kind of made me think, okay, let's think about this. When I was an air traffic controller, somebody told me one time that there are two kinds of airports. Airports under construction, airports under destruction. So either you're building and growing or you're shrinking and dying. So really, if you want to take it back, let's say 30 years ago, let's go back to 30 years, the good old days. As Carly Simon, we'll play that in just a second. Carly Simon says, the good old days. Well, the good old days of 30 years ago, let's just think, what was around 30 years ago? The Magic Kingdom, Epcot had just gotten started. There were only 2 hotels. Well, there were 3, but one of them is now shades of green. There were no value resorts. There were no moderate resorts. There was no Hollywood studios. If you look at the Magic Kingdom, the Skyway, Skyway to Tomorrowland, back and forth was still there. But that was cool, but it was kind of, people would drop things. That's kind of why they had to take it out, because people were dropping things, spitting on people. It wasn't the best situation. People were, okay, I know there are smokers out there and that's okay, but people were, the smoking was open, kind of annoying, things just, there were no Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Buzz Lightyear was still, If You Have Wings, Stitch's Great Escape. Now, I don't like Stitch's, I'd roll back and do Mission to Mars again. But it was a really different time. Shoot, Norway, Frozen, that whole pavilion hadn't even opened yet. So it was really a different time back then. Do we really want to go back to those days? Man, if you're not excited about the changes that are coming in the next few years, look at the minivans. Just this week, the minivans. How cool are those things? Yeah, the gondolas are coming. That's going to be cool. Is it kind of nervous? Or am I nervous about the gondolas? Absolutely, but it's cool. New technologies are being introduced all the time. Pandora, like it or love it or hate it, it's new and it's beautiful and it's progress. Like I started, there's 2 kinds of theme parks. The theme parks that are growing and changing, or the theme parks that are being torn down. So yes, the good old days. Well, just what does Carly say about the good old days? Let me hang on just a minute. There's something in the way here. I got to move it. What does Carly say? Oh. These are the good old days. Stay right here. These are the good old days. It's a great time to be a fan of Walt Disney World. Now, is Disney doing everything perfectly? There are some things I really am not happy with Disney about, but these really are the good old days. Look at what's coming. Look at what we have in store for us in the next few years. Do you really want to turn the clock back, or Star Wars Hotel? These really are the good old days. All right, enough of me ranting, but it's something to think about. Something to think about. Tell me if I'm wrong. Put down in the comments, Dad, you're crazy. I want to go back. It's okay. You can say that. I won't get on to you. I won't say a word about it. But yes, we all have things we would love to have come back. But, it's one of those things. Change happens. All right. Enough of that. Stop, Dad. Move on. Here we go. The news of the week. It was announced a couple of weeks ago that Siemens, the sponsor of Spaceship Earth and Illuminations, and other things, but that they were not going to renew their contract when it was up. Well, this week they just pulled out totally. And Disney is starting to change. They had a lounge for Siemens people that's no longer available. So there's going to be some changes that come out of that. Is it a big deal? No, but it's just something that's going on. By the way, the Disney Vacation account being canceled, that is part of a, this is still rumor, but pretty solid rumor. That was part of Disney and Chase dissolving their partnership. The Disney Chase Visa is probably going away. The Chase lounges and things are probably going away because Disney and Chase, the partnership's over. It kind of looks like Disney may be getting out of the partnership business, but we'll have to see. They haven't announced any new big partnerships in a long time. So, good thing, bad thing. It's one of those, it's a change thing. These are the good old days. Don't know. We'll have to just wait and see how that goes moving on down the line. All right, so next item, Slinky Dog roller coaster. This week they put the last piece of track in. If you saw the video, I think we published it on the website. If we didn't, we should have. And we'll probably do that this weekend. The last piece of track was laid for the Slinky Dog roller coaster in the new Toy Story Land, opening next summer. But that's a pretty cool deal. Pretty cool deal. Now they've just got to get the vehicles and get it tested and get it finished out and get the land all finished out, but getting closer every day. Minivans. This week, the minivans came out of the test period. They're now officially being used. We found out this week that the Lyft, L-Y-F-T, Lyft is who is going to be overseeing minivans. To get a minivan, you use the Lyft app. So Lyft app, and it's being used now at the Boardwalk Inn, at the Beach Club, and the Yacht Club. Minivans are available in those 3 hotels. It will be rolling out to other hotels soon. My guess is they'll probably do Magic Kingdom hotels next. Then they'll do the lodges, Wilderness Lodge, Animal Kingdom Lodge. Then they'll do the moderates. Then they'll do the values. That's just my guess. What do I know? Who am I? Anyway, so Lyft, Beach Club, Yacht Club, time. The minivans are available from 6:30 in the morning till 12:30 a.m. the next day. All right. Skyliners. This is kind of interesting. The new Disney Skyliner, the gondola system, they've started putting advertisements for that in the Pop Century, the Art of Animation, and the Caribbean Beach Resort, because that's where it's going to stop. Kind of interesting that they're doing that already. It's kind of early to be talking about that at those resorts. So Skyliners are coming. I guess they're going to come fairly quickly. We know that the pads were all built for the buildings. Don't know haven't seen any new pictures of construction of the buildings, but my guess is it's probably a year away. But it's kind of early to be starting to put up ads, but it's coming. Also this week, Muppet Vision 3D closed unexpectedly for refurbishment. My supposition, I've seen kind of this out from other people, is that because the Great Movie Ride is closing here on the 13th, that they wanted to go ahead and get the Muppet Vision refurb done as soon as they could to get it back open so they wouldn't have so much of it. I mean, a lot of stuff closed in Hollywood studios. There's still a lot of stuff to do, but a lot of stuff is closed. And it just kind of makes sense to move that refurb and get it done as much as possible before the 13th. Don't know that Muppet Vision will be back open by the 13th, but the refurb has started. It's a scheduled refurb. They just moved the data. Okay, so Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. They just added a new pre-show video. Before, it did not have any pre-show video. You just walk through the line, and now there's a pre-show video that will kind of help the line problems, help keep people involved in the line. Hollywood Studios had a couple things go on this morning. Couple of restaurant restructurings that are just making me go, huh? The Fantasmic Dining Package. They took out the appetizer from the Fantasmic Dining Package. Okay, not a big deal. So the price ought to go down. Yeah, it went down $3. An appetizer is 8 or 10 or $12. So that was probably that's a big price increase for the Fantasmic dining package. The other thing they did was the Star Wars tour. The tour is no longer going to be having the dessert party as part of it. And then the hours have changed. It's more in the mornings now. Again, why are they doing this stuff? The price went down $30, but the dessert party is like $79, $49, $79. I get them confused. But it's at least $50. But the price just went down $30. Hello. I know you're in price cutting mode there, Hollywood Studios, but that's not the way to do it. You don't take things away and then lower the costs half as much. Oh well, that's what they're doing. There's some things I don't like about what Disney is doing, but that's my problem. All right, here we go. Enough of that bad stuff. Let's get on to some good stuff. All right, Dad's. Oh, wait. Speaking of lowering prices, I'm having a sale. We got calendars are getting ready to come out. The 2018 calendars are getting ready to come out. We still got some 2017 calendars left, and it's just time to get rid of them. So I'm having a huge 80% off the calendars. Get a calendar for $5 plus shipping. We're also having a big sale on the Best of WDW Volume 1, our beautiful photo book. If you haven't seen it yet, it is an incredible. Here, I'll just show you. I got one sitting right here. Just an amazing photo book. Normally, we were selling it for $34.95. We're going to sell it for $10 right now during the clearance sale. Wow, $10. I'm not going to do this for long. But if you want to get a photo book, if you want to get a calendar, we've got the growth charts. We've got some Christmas cards left over. All of them are big clearance sale prices. So go over to our sales page, the b-best-of-wdw.com, and I'm sure the link, Stephanie will have put the link down in the comments already for you. Go over there and grab it before it goes. You'll probably get an email or two about this over the next week because it's a big sale and it ain't going to last long. Once everything's gone, it's over. All right. Here we go. Time for Dad's Tip of the Week. No. Not that one. Hi, Dad here with this week's Dad's Tip of the Week. Last week I talked about wanting to start a conversation around Dad's new book that's coming out in just a couple of weeks. We're getting so close. Dad's Simple, Fun, Magic Guide to Walt Disney World Planning. Good book. You're going to love it. Trust me. But anyway, in the first section, I make a big point, and this is what we talked about last week. It's your vacation. But as part of that, I want to ask you a big favor, and I'm just going to read right out of the book. This actually starts, it's your vacation. You are going to Walt Disney World. Your vacation is not going to be like anyone else's Walt Disney World vacation. Let me say that again. What you experience at Walt Disney World will be different from your neighbors, your friends, some random person on the internet, or a book writer will experience. Let me ask you one big favor. Tune out the world. Don't go looking around the internet for other opinions. When Uncle Jimmy or Aunt Sally tries to tell you what you have to do, don't listen. Just set your Mickey ears to KDAD and get ready for your chance of a lifetime. Whether you listen to me, whether you listen to somebody else, whether you listen to my buddy Dave Shute or to Touring Plans, Disney Dining, whoever you listen to, pick a voice. and listen to them. Don't go looking for other opinions. You need to pick one voice to listen to, or you're just going to get overwhelmed and you're just going to get confused. So that's Dad's tip of the week this week. Pick a voice, listen to that voice. Hopefully it's Dad. All right, see you next week. Bye-bye. Yeah, hopefully it's Dad. It's the old too many cooks spoil the broth. Okay, enough. Stop. No, you've already done it. Stop. Here we go. All right, so on to the next section. It's time for questions. Now, before we get into questions, just a reminder. Number one, we're giving away some beautiful, actually, Shannon from Destinations to Travel is giving away some beautiful Pandora lithographs. These things are 16 by 20 or so, and there's 3 of them. And you can get them. You can enter by just liking over here, commenting, sharing on Dad's Lunch with Dad today, right now, and you'll be entered. At the end of Lunch with Dad, we'll be picking a winner here, right here, random. Somebody may have already won, then they don't know it yet. But we'll pick a winner here in just a few minutes. But like, comment, share, and you'll be entered for the Pandora lithographs. Cool. All right, so next, questions. If you have a question, put it down in the comments. We've already got 4, it looks like. Put your questions down in the comments below, and I'll answer them right here, right now, live. I've got about 7 or 8 from our Ask Dad page. We have a page where I answer questions. There's hundreds, almost 1,000 questions that I've answered through the years on that Ask Dad page. And if during the week you want a question to be asked, to be answered on Friday, put it in that Ask Dad page, and we'll get it, and I'll have the answer ready for you on Friday. Or you can ask right here. But got some questions we're going to answer right here, right now, and these are from our Ask Dad page. I'll answer the questions you put in here in just a couple of minutes. Okay, this one is one I missed last week. This one comes from Cindy in Watertown, Tennessee. Sorry about looking. Papers are sticking together. What if a restaurant has no availability? What are your options? Cindy, it's a good question. It happens a lot, especially with restaurants like Ohana, Cinderella's Royal Table, Chef Mickey sometime. Some of those restaurants book very early, sometimes before you can even get in and book your at 180 days. So what can you do if you can't get a reservation there? Well, there are several things you can do. First, you can just keep trying. That's the first thing I recommend. Just keep trying, or as Dory would say, swimming, just keep swimming. Just keep trying, because people cancel all the time. There are times that are more likely for people to cancel, but when somebody cancels their resort reservation, if those resort reservations are tied to ADRs, if you've got them together in your My Disney experience, which everybody does, both get canceled. They all get canceled. So just keep trying all along. The second thing to do is to try at 30 days. About 30 days, that's when final payments are due. A lot of reservations cancel at final payment time. So sometimes inventory shows up at the 30-day mark. The next thing to do is to, the day of your reservation, to try that day. Even though, morning, you've got want an evening reservation, look in the morning, look the day before, look those last few days. People cancel at the last minute. And sometimes Disney releases extra inventory those last few days. Sometimes they decide that they got some extra, because the little secret is they hold some seats back for things like concierge rooms or special events or VIPs. So they always hold a few tables, have a few tables, and sometimes they'll release that inventory right at the end. So sometimes the day of, you can go in. In fact, I know this happened, I think it was Stephanie. This happened to Stephanie. She wanted to go to Ohana. And the day of, she was able to get a reservation to Ohana. In the morning, she made a reservation for the afternoon, for the evening, and went to Ohana same day. That's a reservation you normally can't get at 180 days. So just keep trying, try it to that last day, and the last thing is show up. You never know. It's doubtful at those busy places. Typically, they don't have any openings, but sometimes they do. So show up. First, just keep trying. Second, try it 30 days, try the last week, try the day of, and then just show up and say, hey, have you got an opening? Probably not going to work, but it's worth a try. All right, the bottom line, Dad's bottom line, just keep trying, just keep trying. Oh, I sing so good, don't I? All right, next question, here we go. Actually, I'm seeing the note. Actually, Stephanie made an Ohana reservation at 6:15 for a 7:45 seating the same day. So yeah, I've seen a lot of those. So especially right towards that last few minutes. Anyway, all right. Here's the next question. This one's from Patty in South Carolina. Heading to Walt Disney World with a teenage granddaughter who will be 15. She found a dress that she would like to wear in the parks. It's a prom dress inspired by live-action Cinderella. It is blue, full-length, long skirt, and a fitted top. Will she be allowed to wear this? Patty sent a picture. It wasn't good enough to share. I mean, it was a good picture. It just wasn't high quality enough to share on the video. I looked at it and I tried to put it, and it just wouldn't work. But anyway, so I looked at the picture, Patty, and my thought would be, I don't think it's going to work. It is too much like Cinderella's costume, especially since it's especially the live action. It's more the color of the live action than it is the color of the movie. It really looks way too much like Cinderella costume. Now, your granddaughter isn't blonde, so that helps. But I think if you got in, some cast member would probably point it out to management, and it might work. There's a 2% chance. Well, there's probably more than a 2% chance. There's a slight chance that it would be okay. But my guess is, and you probably don't want to go through the hassle of them saying, hey, you have to leave the park. You probably don't want to go through that hassle. So I would suggest that you don't even try. If she was a little younger, then it's okay. Ages 13 and under can sometimes get away with it. But she's 15. She doesn't look like a 13-year-old. So I would just suggest that you don't even try. There are some other rules about layered skirts that it for security purposes, and so full-length layered skirts are against the rules. So I just wouldn't do it. Sorry, I know it's beautiful, but it's just not something that is you can wear in the parks. The bottom line is, it's just not going to work. It's just something you can't wear in the parks according to Disney's rules. All right, next question. By the way, if you have a question, if you're just getting here, two things. If you're just getting here, we've got a giveaway going on, some Pandora lithographs from our partners at Destinations to Travel, and we've also got questions. If you want to ask a question, stick it in the comments, and I'll answer them here in about 6 or 7 minutes. All right, here we go. Next question. If I don't get to talking too long, and that never happens. All right, next question. Here we go. This one is from Crystal in Lake Mary, Florida. My twins will turn 6 in December, and hubby and I want to stay at a resort and enjoy a theme park on Friday through Sunday to celebrate their birthdays. Can I get a Florida rate on any of this during this time of year? Also, we would like to stay at one of the Animal Kingdom resorts and see the animals from the room. But my total budget for hotels and parks is only $800. Am I dreaming, or should we look at another resort? What do you recommend? We are looking at staying at the hotel for 2 nights, Friday, December 1st and Saturday, December 2nd. Can we still go to Animal Kingdom Hotel even if we're not staying there? I am going to Disney for 1 or 2 days, probably exploring hotel fun the other day or having Disney Boardwalk fun if that helps the budget. All right. Let me see here. That's Crystal. Yeah, it's a little, well, okay. I asked my buddies from Destinations to Travel to answer the question for us. And Chris Boyer, who's pretty cool, he wrote this answer. All right, happy birthday to your twins. He said something about you need to make sure you bring the appropriate stuff for your Florida rate. But he said, now let's dig into your question. There's currently not a specific Florida resident offer for packages or room stays, but there are great offers on tickets. Unfortunately, to take advantage of that Florida ticket offer, you need to purchase either a 3-day or 4-day ticket or a single-day park hopper. You can currently get single-day tickets for all 4 of you for December 2nd for $448 for the Magic Kingdom or $416 for one of the other parks. You can also pick I'm sorry, my printer didn't print very well. You can pick a single park hopper ticket for December 2nd for $558 total. Okay, so now the room. Availability for December is extremely limited. That's been true for a while. Meaning we need to look at both what fits into your budget and what is currently showing as available. To stay within your $800 budget, we're going to need to target the value resorts. A preferred room at the Disney All-Star Movies Resort is currently showing available with a total cost of $317.80, including tax. Combine that with a single-day park hopper, and your total would be right around $875. If you go with a single-day Magic Kingdom ticket, you're under budget at $765.86 for the tickets in the room. So as far as checking out the Animal Kingdom Lodge, you're more than welcome to resort hop and check out other resorts while you're at Walt Disney World. You can go to any of them. The bus system won't take you there, so you'll have to either go to one of the other parks or Disney Springs and get a bus to the Animal Kingdom, or take a minivan or some other form of transportation. So the bottom line is it's doable. It's going to take some figuring. You're not going to be able to stay at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. I looked last night, and the cheapest room was like $448 at the Animal Kingdom Lodge per night. So it's kind of a pricey hotel. But you can go over to the Animal Kingdom Lodge. You'll be able to go out on the balcony. Well, it's not the balcony, but you'll be able to go out around the pool and see the animals. That's no problem at all. But as to being able to stay at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, that's not in that budget. You can do it. What I would suggest is you go to our Destinations to Travel page. The link will be down in the comments. I'm sure it's already there. Go to our Destinations to Travel page and send them a link. Somebody, it might not be Chris, but one of their agents, and it might be Chris actually, one of their agents will get in touch with you and help you get this done. You can also always get cheaper tickets than Disney, not one day. They don't sell the one-day tickets, but cheaper tickets from our partners at the official ticket center. It doesn't really apply to your trip, but if you're looking for tickets for a 3-day or more stay, official ticket center has discounted tickets. But so I hope that helps. It's doable, but you need to get on it right away because the inventory for the rooms is going very quickly. All right, next question. This one makes Dad smile. My question has to do with the special activities going on in November at each park. Has there been any word on whether or not there will be anything at Hollywood Studios that is themed for Christmas? Did they not have the Jingle Bell show or something in previous years? We are headed there in mid-November and have tickets to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. but wondered what the other parks are doing and have special things going on. Thanks for your help. And that was from Shelley in Westville, Nova Scotia, a Canadian friend. All right, Christmas at Disney World. Bring it, Andy.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer.
Oh, I could just let that go on and on all day. I love Christmas at Disney World. It's my favorite time of year. We've probably written about that almost as much as crowds. I'm just so excited talking about it. Christmas at Disney World, there's stuff in every park. The decorations, I'll just go through the parks. There are decorations up in all 4 parks. The events, let's just start at the Magic Kingdom and go through the parks. The Magic Kingdom, you've got Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Talking about Christmas and I said Halloween. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, where you've got shows at night. You'll see the different shows all around the park. You've got holiday wishes. You've got the Once Upon a Christmas Time parade. Just beautiful, beautiful. Snow on Main Street. That's actually soap, but snow-looking stuff on Main Street. It's just Christmas goodies and candies, and I just love Christmas time. Parks are all decorated. Then at Epcot is the most Christmas of all the parks. Where the Magic Kingdom the last couple of years, they've just been decorating Main Street and a few other decorations. Epcot has decorated the whole park. All around the park there are Christmas decorations. There are more Christmas things that go on in Epcot than any of the other parks. You've got holidays around the world where you've got the storytellers of the Christmas story for that country, the celebrations they do, their holiday celebrations at each of the countries. Just incredible to go and listen to each of those stories. You have the Candlelight Processional, my favorite show at Walt Disney World for Christmas time, where they tell the story of the birth of Jesus with song and scripture. You typically will, and the Voices of Liberty during the day will be singing Christmas carols in the American Adventure Pavilion. Over across the lagoon, over by the fountains, there's a stage that gets set up where usually they have a couple of different groups that sing Christmas songs at different times during the day. So it's just Christmas and Illuminations. The holiday version of Illuminations is probably my favorite fireworks show. I'm not a big fan of Illuminations, but I really like the holiday edition. The Let There Be Peace on Earth song and the fireworks that go with that. So I really like the holiday version of Illuminations. All right, so that's Epcot. Now, Disney Hollywood Studios, yes, last year they had a fireworks show, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, and it has been announced that it will be coming back this year. So the Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam nighttime show will be back this year. There's decorations all around. There's not a lot of, we don't know yet what they're going to do. They may try to doll Hollywood Studios up a little bit and add some things there this year. Not really sure, seeing all their budget cut things we talked about earlier. Maybe, maybe not. Animal Kingdom, it's just decorated. They don't do anything special at Animal Kingdom. They used to have the Mickey's Jingle Jungle parade. That was really cool. I love that Jingle Jungle parade, but they don't do the afternoon parade there anymore, so it went away a couple years ago. So just the decorations at Animal Kingdom. Of course, at Disney Springs, they've got some amazing Christmas. Well, last year they had an amazing Christmas tree decoration for it. I think they had like 13 or 15 Christmas trees. They did the The drone show, the holiday drone show, where it was like drone fireworks. The drones would fly, and it looked kind of like fireworks, and it was a Christmas show. So Santa is at Disney Springs. Don't just say, hey, don't forget about Disney Springs. It really decks up for Christmas. All the resorts, we've got a whole thing about resort hopping, a whole page about resort hopping, and seeing all the resort decorations. The deluxe resorts are just fabulous. Some of their decorations, the gingerbread house in the Grand Floridian, 1,000 square foot gingerbread house, the carousel, the chocolate carousel, just some absolutely mind-blowing Christmas out for you. So check out Christmas at Disney World. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Okay, quick singing call. All right, here we go. Next question. I got 2 more. If you have any questions you want answered, throw them down in the comments. Again, we've got a giveaway to enter. Either like, share, comment, or all 3. That'll give you a better chance. Like, share, or comment, and just say, I want the lithographs. Destinations Travel, giving them away for us. And we'll give them away here in just a few minutes. All right, next question. This one is from Bill in Indiana. He says, I am surprised that you rated February 4th through 10th, 2018 so high. It's like number 2 on my dad's 5 best weeks to visit Walt Disney World. Mostly because February 7th through 12th of 2018 is when the Cheerleader Nationals is going on. Did you take that into consideration when you rated these? He says, laugh out loud. Because my family is actually going that week, and it was a nightmare to actually get rooms at the value resorts. We wanted standard rooms, but we ended up having to get preferred rooms because they were the only rooms available. Thanks. Bill, while I didn't specifically look at the Cheerleader Nationals, I look at the historical crowd patterns when I pick those best weeks to go. And historically, that is a really nice, slow time to go. I also look at the events, the weather, everything going on around at that time. The new art show was actually the Festival of the Arts. That's what it was. Festival of the Arts at Epcot was going on that week, and it's been announced that it'll be back this year. So you've got the Festival of the Arts, you've got low crowds. If you look at our crowds page, our Dad's February crowds page, Stephanie will put the link down in the comments, you'll see that that's in my opinion, and this is what historically has happened, that's a fairly slow time to go. Now, let's talk about competitions. Competitions don't impact the park crowds for the most part, especially early part of the competitions. So competitions, when teens go to compete at competitions, that's what they spend most of their time working on, is practicing, is going to the competitions. So watching the competitions, they don't spend the majority of their time in the parks. So even though the value resorts are packed to the gills, the same thing happens with Pop Warner weeks. Even though the value resorts are packed to the gills, the parks aren't. There really is usually a pretty good time to visit the parks because there just really aren't. The competition people are at the competitions. And also, if you filled every room in the value resorts, let's see, 28, 16, you'd be talking about 20,000 people, which is still a lot of people. It just isn't. We're going to talk about this again in a minute, but the value resorts themselves, you could fill them up and you still wouldn't have large crowds at Disney World. You have to fill all the hotels up and offsite hotels too. So, yes, it might have been hard to get a room at the value resorts, but that does not mean that the crowds in the parks are going to be crazy. It's getting to where it's always hard to get room in the value resorts, especially those standard rooms for the most part. Actually, the easiest time this year to get a room in a value resort, a standard room, was the summertime, which was kind of crazy. But that's just the way it worked out this year. So the bottom line, Dan's bottom line is, yes, I didn't specifically take the cheerleader competitions into consideration, but I did look at historic crowds, and the first week, that week of February, is a really good week to go crowd-wise. So, hope that helps. All right, here's the last question I have from the Ask Dad page, and then we'll get to your questions. We've got a bunch already, so keep them coming. Here we go. This one is kind of similar to the last one. It's from Selena in San Antonio. We are visiting Disney April 15th through the 20th. I noticed that the Star Wars Half Marathon will be there that weekend. We chose April because the crowds are usually lighter. I was listening to a podcast that stated the marathon usually brings in 100,000 people to the parks. It also said that some people stay before the marathon dates and linger after. Is the marathon going to cause a major crowd issue? Should we push our trip back a week? Thanks so much for your time and help. Selena, like we just talked about, events like the marathon and the cheerleader championships are held on weeks where the crowds are very low just for this reason. Disney is trying to increase the number of people in the hotels, and they do that on slow times. So first, it's going to be a slow week without the marathon people. Now, 100,000 people in the parks, that sounds crazy. It's not. It's just not. That's not a busy day. I did a little math. I looked at the total of all of the parks last year. Theme Park Statistics has a chart where they estimate, and these estimates have been fairly accurate, how many people were at Walt Disney World last year. And it turns out it's some 30, 40, 50, it's some 50 million people or something like that. But anyway, it comes out to 147,197 people today. About 150,000 people on an average day at Walt Disney World. That's not a busy day. That's an average day at Walt Disney World. So 100,000 people at the parks takes on a whole new meaning. And I don't know that I would agree with that number at all. I think that's a little bit out of line. But even if it was, okay, 100,000 people at the parks versus 150. Last year, 2016, Mrs. Mom and I went to Disney World the weekend. We arrived on Marathon Day, the big marathon, the big Disney marathon, where they have the biggest group, the biggest crowds. We were in Epcot on Marathon Day, the last day of the marathon, the day of the marathon. We were in Epcot that day. We watched people finishing the marathon, and we stayed in Epcot the rest of that day. There were no crowds. We walked on most rides. Soarin' had a 15-minute wait. Just unheard of small crowds. So, yeah, the Magic Kingdom was kind of busier the next day. It was busier the next day, but the Magic Kingdom was always busy. So, while 100,000 people for the marathon sounds like a big deal, it's really not. And typically, when I look at Star Wars weekend, my crowd predictions for that week, if you go and you look at my April Disney World crowd calendar page, it includes the marathon because it's been going on for years. So I know what the crowd levels are at that time. So if you based your trip on the crowd levels that I have on my crowd calendar, you're fine because it's not any different than it was last year. So the bottom line is don't need to change your trip. At least I don't think so. My recommendation, yeah, I don't think you need to. Could it be crazy? Yeah, it could, but my experience says it's not. All right. Okay, so that's the last question I've got. Now on to your questions. If you have a question, if you want to ask a question, throw it down in the comments. I'll get to it after I answer these few that I've already got here. And by the way, if you want to enter to win these cool Star Wars lithographs, okay, why didn't that work? Let's do that. If you want to enter to get these cool Star Wars lithographs, I can't talk. Wow, I gotta go. Like, comment, or share on this, and we'll get them to you if you win. We'll pick a winner here in just a minute. All right. Travis asks, what park, in your opinion, is better for 4-year-olds or under? Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom? Travis, that kind of depends. Are they animal lovers? Do they just love animals? If they do, Animal Kingdom. But the Magic Kingdom is always the best for kids. It's just where the most kid-friendly things are. So Fantasyland, most kids could spend the whole day in Fantasyland. But it just kind of depends on the kids. If they're less into Disney and more into animals, go over to Animal Kingdom. All right, next question. Bridget asks, we are staying in the Art of Animation in February. Will the new Skyliner construction be complete or in progress? Wondering if we should choose a different resort. Bridget, I'm 99% sure it will still be in progress. I cannot see the Skyliner being ready by February. My guess is next summer to next fall. It takes a while. There's a lot of work to be done. I will say that it's not going to affect the Art of Animation. It's being built in the water, the big lake that's between the Art of Animation and the Pop Century. It's being built on a bridge in that lake, so it's not like it's in the middle of the Art of Animation. So it's not going to affect you at the Art of Animation. There won't be any construction there that will affect your stay at all. So could it be open by February? Yeah, my guess is no. So I mean, if you're going to use that for your transportation, then yeah, you might want to pick a different hotel, but no, it's probably not going to be open. All right, next question. Autumn asks, here's another, any word on if the minivans will come to the All-Star Resorts? Thank you for your great advice. Autumn, yeah, the minivans are going to roll out to all the hotels eventually. Don't know when, but eventually the plan is to roll them out to all the hotels. They're just doing it a little at a time because it is a significant new thing. They've got to see how it works. And you'll probably see in a couple of weeks, my guess is maybe the 1st of September, the next set of hotels will get the minivans rolled out to. Toby asks, I've heard crowds can be down a little bit this summer. Is that true? Yeah, Toby, it's true. Crowds were down this summer. They're down last summer, too. So down this summer versus last summer, not too bad. They're down a little more this summer, but last summer versus the summer before, considerable, 6, 7, maybe even as much as 10% down over the previous summers. Now those crowds are moving into the rest of the year because the overall attendance isn't going down that much. But yeah, crowds are down in the summer, just is. And you can see, and Disney has known about it for a long time because they've been doing promotions. We never seen summer promotions like they put out this year. Right now, if you're an annual pass holder, Tables in Wonderland holder, usually Tables in Wonderland is 20%. Right now it's 30% through the end of the summer. And annual pass holders are being offered 30% discounts, which is a lot more than they normally get. So they're trying to draw those frequent guests back into Disney with some special deals. All right. Different Bridget asks, I like how Stephanie sends me notes on my iPad. And she says, a different Bridget asks, can you get a military discount with 6 years previous service but not retired? Bridget, no. You have to be active duty, retired, or active duty or retired. Might have been something else in there, but just because you have previous service, you don't qualify. We kind of had a little. We found that out. I misspoke several months ago on this, and since then I've found out that you have to be active duty or retired for the military discounts. Lauren asks, "Hi, Dad. I'm just starting to plan a trip for summer 2018. Yeah, maybe Toy Story will be open. Do you think breakfast dining package at Tusker House for Rivers of Light with 4 kids, ages 4 to 12, is a good idea? Is Tusker House worth it? Is Rivers of Light worth it? Thank you." 4 through 12, Tusker House. So worth it? Again, this is one of those is it worth it questions that's hard to answer. I don't know how to quantify worth it. It is an experience. And getting the Rivers of Light dining package, you get that fast pass seating, that Rivers of Light dining package seating for Rivers of Light for the show. Is it worth it? If you were going to eat at Tusker House anyway, if you were going to do a character meal with Donald, if you want to do a character meal with Donald, Donald's Safari Breakfast at Tusker House, we'd love it. In fact, we have a Rivers of Light dining package booked in November. I think it's either late October and early November, somewhere around there, at Tusker House, because we like Tusker House. We like Donald. We like the sunrise, the Jamba Juice, Jungle Juice, that's what they call it. The Jungle Juice. Love that Jungle Juice stuff. But yeah, we like the Rivers of Light. The Tusker House. But for a family with 4 kids, that's getting pretty expensive. It depends if you are going to eat a sit-down table service breakfast with your family. It is a good deal. It's one of those things, those big buffets where you can eat a lot, not have to eat lunch, or just kind of snack through the day and eat a dinner. So it's one of those, you got to do the math. What is best for your family? For us, Mrs. Mom and I, we're going to do it. Can't tell you for sure about the seating for Rivers of Light and how important it is. I hear that it's pretty important. I haven't been there yet, but I hear that it's pretty important to get either Fast Pass or one of those dining package seats. There is viewing available around the lagoon, but it just seems like it's not as good. So, bottom line is, it's one of those things that you've got to decide. Do you want the experience? Do you want the big meal for breakfast? Do you want the Donald's safari breakfast with Donald and Daisy and Mickey and Minnie and Pluto? Do you want to do that? Do you want the character meal? Or do you want to save the money and get something quick and cheap? It's up to you. All right, here we go. Next one, Alexandria asks, any predictions of when Rivers of Light dining package will be released for November or December? Checking daily and starting to wonder if it's even going to happen. Okay, this is the other part of that, and I was kind of hesitating on the last question. I'm hearing rumors, and I don't like to talk about rumors, but I'm hearing fairly credible rumors that Disney is going to discontinue Rivers of Light for a while. I think it's a crazy, stupid, hey, Disney, Bob, any of the Bobs, Iger, Eisner. Eisner's not Bob, and he's not working there anymore. I know that. But anybody, any of you guys that work at Disney, doing away with Rivers of Light right now so you can push people into Pandora like you have with I'm going to get on my high horse here, like you have with the nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom. Quit it. Stop it. Don't do this stuff. There's no reason for you to be nickel and diming stuff to get people to go to Pandora. If it can't stand on its own, then you made a big mistake. Why do you want people to go to Pandora at night? Yes, it's beautiful. I understand that, but why are you pushing us to it? Let us make the choice for ourselves. It's like they have a bunch of stock in Cameron's movies, but they're not even coming out for 2 years. Why are we pushing this? Stop it. Roll out your rivers of dining packages. Come on. It's time, Disney, to do this. Do it right. Do it now. Quit playing with this stuff. When are they going to roll it out? I don't know if they are. They rolled ours out. They say around 3 months. Well, it's around 3 months. It's time to do it. It could be any day. It could not happen. I don't know. And it's really frustrating to me, to you, and it's just not right. So Disney, fix it. We're tired of it. Okay, enough of my ranting. Dad is not happy. Anyway, all right. Probably going to be a letter to Disney written by Dad here again. That might actually just turn into a letter to Disney written by Dad. All right, Jeffrey asks, hello. When I book a Magic Your Way vacation package and I want to upgrade one of my tickets to a season pass, is it worth it? We're coming from 9 days at the end of August. Jeffrey, 9 days, just do the math. How much is a 9-day ticket? How much is an annual pass? Don't think you're going to find that a 9-day ticket, well, if you add the park hoppers, it's getting right there where the annual pass and the 9-day ticket are, but I think it takes more than a 9-day ticket. So just do the math. Is a 9-day ticket with park hoppers worth what an annual pass costs? Bottom line, quick and easy. All right, I've got 2 more questions, and then we're going to shut it off. So no more questions. Here we go, 2 more questions. Nicole asks, looking at renting a DVC studio, do all have Murphy beds, leaning towards the Wilderness Lodge or Beach Club? Nicole, no, not all of them have, not all the studios have Murphy beds. We stayed, I don't know about the Wilderness Lodge or the Beach Club, but I stayed in a studio at Bay Lake Tower, and it had a couch and a bed, but it did not have a Murphy bed. So it depends on the hotel. Don't know all the configurations for all the different, you've got in the DVC resorts, you've got studios, you've got 1 bedrooms, you've got 2 bedrooms, you've got grand villas. So there's all kinds of different configurations. So it's hard to know what's in each room and for each resort. But we'll look it up. But I'm pretty sure that probably neither one of them do. Just would be my guess. Murphy beds. They're going to have some kind of couch or some kind of. Every one of them will sleep 4 in the studios. That's typically what you see in the studios. The studios sleep 4. So I know that's not a great answer, but that's about the best I can do. And I see Stephanie has recommended you look at yourfirstvisit.net. He's the one to ask. He's the resort guy. All right, Dad, what is your favorite resort and why? Well, Marcia. That's from Marcia, by the way. Marcia, my favorite resort in the whole world is the Polynesian. I love the Polynesian. It's the first place we stayed with the whole family. When we came with the whole family, we were able to get a deal, and we upgraded from the Caribbean Beach Resort over to the Polynesian. So we've got that first family trip memories. We've stayed there, I think, 3 times. Yeah, it's real expensive, but it's still my favorite place. I mean, if I were to hit the lottery, I would buy a bazillion points at the Polynesian and be living in one of those bungalows probably. I just love that feel. I love the island feel. I love the look and the relaxed and being able to get a Dole Whip anytime you want one. Love Ohana. We like Captain Cook's. We like the gift shops. It's just my favorite resort. My second favorite resort, my home away from home, is the Pop Century. I love the Pop Century. I love the big icons. I love the colors. Haven't been there since they got the new rooms. I've heard people say that they really like the new rooms. Looking at the pictures, I'm got to see one for myself. But so we tend to go to the Pop Century and stay at the Pop Century. I've been there like 11 times, I think. So Pop Century is kind of home away from home. I like everything Pop. Love breakfast at everything Pop. That's my home away from home. So there you go. My favorite resorts are the Polynesian and the Pop Century. And I'll let you know about Port Orleans French Quarter when I come back in in November. All right, so here we go. Time to pick a winner for our lithographs. Wrapping things up. Time to pick a winner for our lithographs. And the winner, picked it randomly, is Roger Rhinesmith. Roger Rhinesmith. Roger, if you'll send us a message up here, we'll get Shannon from Destinations to Travel. Great partners, our great partners from Destinations to Travel. She'll mail you those. If you are going to Disney World this year, next year, 10 years from now, get in touch with Destinations to Travel. We got a page, Destinations to Travel page, and at the bottom of that page is a form you can fill out. Get in touch with them. They'll take great care of you. I got a message just this morning from somebody that was dealing with the Destinations to Travel agent and just thanking me for sharing the information about Destinations to Travel with them. They are great. They will take great care of you. Thank you, Shannon, for the giveaway. Roger, you send us a message on the page, message us, and we'll get your information, and we'll get those out to you right away. Shannon will get them out in the mail, maybe today, but probably Monday. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you for being here. Thanks to our partners at celebrationshirts.com. If you're going to Disney, if you need shirts, T-shirts, they do great T-shirts. Check them out. Their Facebook page is just cool. Always have some great pictures. And people going into the parks wearing Celebration shirts, T-shirts. Just great designs. They can design yours, or they have designs already made up. Celebrationshirts.com. All right. So, wow, that was long. We're way past time. There's no sad time, but I think we're way past time. All right. So that's it. Thank you. Don't forget the big sale. Best prices ever on this calendars, books. Crazy sale. But anyway, check out our crazy sale, and we'll see you next week. Have a good week. Bye-bye.